All right, hey everybody, we're talking about injuries at work.
Let's get this show going, man.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans, by fans, with your hosts, Jesse Martin.
The Cowboys are finished, you understand me?
John Taman.
Pull down my trousers and do your job.
Scott Hartley.
Well, that was dreadful.
And occasionally, Keith Gregg.
So many social engagements, so little time.
And now, your host.
Hey, that's me. I'm your host. We were talking about injuries at work just a second ago, and I was trying to think of the worst injury I ever got at work because I used to do a lot of crazy shit when I was at work construction, did all that kind of shit. And one time, I fucking ate a Slurpee too fast when I was on break, and I got a sinus headache like you wouldn't believe. It wouldn't go away till almost lunchtime. It's crazy. All right, so hey everybody, it's Friday, and it is the divisional playoff round. We have some Commanders news. I'm going to say hey to my friend Jesse over there. Hey Jesse, how's half of your face?
No, it's fantastic. Fantastic. I mean, it's better than looking at all my face.
Let us see the other half, because that's this half of it. Let me see the other side. Okay.
They're looking good.
All right. Well, Scott, very good. He's going to go ahead and give everybody his props. They're our friend from Barrow in Your Furnace, UK. Sorry, it's harder to do this from down to up. So it's our friend Scott Hartley. Yes, we got a video of Scott playing football in the UK when he was younger.
Quick throw, hooks, double catches it, and that cost him a little time.
Right, sorry,
It's pretty much accurate, mate, to be fair. I've never put a helmet on and pads in my life, ever. So,
I can remember Sports Illustrated died today, right? So everybody's crying about that. It died today. And I used to have a subscription when I was a kid, and I can remember reading in there a thing about kids in Europe playing American football, or trying to figure out how to play American football. Well, they didn't have equipment, and they were taking paperback books and sticking them in their shirts like this, like some in Spain or whatever. And they were having these paperback books as shoulder pads, and they were playing football. So I thought that was
some breaking news in the DMV area.
Please,
breaking news.
Let us hear it.
News. A small Cessna 28B had to land on the Loudoun County Parkway today.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Wow. Yeah, nobody got hurt, so that's
nobody
good.
got hurt. Yeah, no. The police and fire blocked off the parkway, so it had room to land, and it did. Luckily, good for them, but as we know, it just junked up the traffic as always. It made it even worse.
I gotta say, for all you people that were complaining about being in that traffic, shut the hell up. One of you would have been texting and had a fucking fender bender within 5 minutes and caused the same thing anyway, just like every Friday when it rains and snows in the Washington, D.C. area. So anyway, we had a couple of interviews this week. We've got a brand new general manager in town, and he's getting right to work. So why don't we jump off with that? Jesse, since you like to talk about those kinds of things, why don't you go ahead and tell us all about how much you love Raheem Morris, what you want him in town for, why you want Dan Quinn to come in here, and this guy Johnson that showed up today.
I'll get shit on this probably from our buddy Scott G, but I'd rather have Dan Quinn than Raheem Morris, to be honest with you.
I would too.
But look, I mean, it's just would be an uninspiring hire. There's coaches that are just better, either position coaches or coordinators that can't hack it as running the whole entire ship. And that's what I believe Raheem Morris is. And let's be all honest, he's not a great defensive coordinator. He's an okay defensive coordinator.
With great talent. With great talent.
Yeah. So I just don't get all the hubbub about it. I got smashed on Twitter, go figure, for saying I'm out on Raheem Morris. He's kind of the epitome of a retread. If we're going for a retread, a coach, I would rather have someone with some experience that was successful, like a Vrabel or a Dan Quinn. But no, I don't want any of them. I don't want any of those three. I want somebody either that's had success in the league, i.e. Jim Harbaugh, or give me someone fresh. Give me a Ben Johnson and McDonald. I wouldn't like it as much, but even I'd take Slowick over any of them.
Did you hear how much his voice hitched there when he said Jim Harbaugh there, Scott? Did you hear Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. It looks like he's probably going to end up in San Diego if I had to bet my dollar.
Yeah, I think so too. Although Jim Harbaugh was in DC today at some rally. I don't know. I didn't look.
Yeah, it was a rally, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's something, but we're not going to bring politics in the whole situation. But
no, I don't even know what rally was downtown today. So
it's interesting. I think the chips are falling now. I mean, Antonio Pierce is the new head coach of the Raiders. He's
and good for him. He deserves that.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I think so too. And that's a great hire for them because he got them going towards the end of the season. And the chips are starting to fall here. You got Bill's got a second interview for. He's got a second interview at the Falcons, which is interesting. I think you're right on who goes where. But what was interesting, I listened to Kai's pod earlier, and what's interesting is one of these offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators who's on this coaching carousel is going to end up not getting a job. So do we end up with a offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator who has been on this journey and hasn't got a job? I don't know. It might happen. We might end up with two very good candidates who come through and do that. But I think everything's pointing and trending towards Ben Johnson being the next head coach of the Commanders. He's the betting favorite. It's quite obvious. I mean, he let a little bit slip in his press conference. Don't know if you saw that in his.
I think he was a little bit giddy talking about Adam Peters a little bit. You know,
what did he say? I'm looking forward to working with them. Is what he said.
Getting to know him.
That's a pretty good clue.
Oh, getting to know him. Sorry, that was the word.
Getting to know him. Okay, but if he would have said the other one, I would have definitely been doing the old Scott pull there. That's for sure.
And Scott, I'm sorry, I was going to break in a little bit later on in the show, but you ruined it, Mr. G. So yeah, we did agree on something else for once. It
really,
we did.
Let me guess. It was Count Chocula is better than Booberry.
Skeletor was better than He-Man.
Count Chocula kicked the shit out of both.
He-Man just had a stupid ass freaking haircut. I mean, it kind of reminds me of
he had a stupid haircut and he wore fur underwear around, and that was pretty much
it kind of reminds me of Mark Davis a little bit.
He was like the little Dutch boy with a pair of fucking furry panties running around out there, Mr. All Muscular and whatnot. I don't know.
The thing is, though, Battle Cat,
we have people that
really
have
the goat
pronouns now that they've all grown up. He-Man had to say his own pronoun before he even said his name. He didn't even have a name. His name was two pronouns.
He was
way ahead of his time. There you go. He was way ahead of his time. You don't even know who He-Man is, do you, Scott?
Yeah, of course I do. I grew up with
Look
He-Man.
at that voice crack. Of course I do.
Took him right back to being
my hero.
Of course, He-Man's own.
Adam. Yeah, I know Adam. Anyway, moving on.
All right. So anyway, here we are. We've been running our mouth about He-Man. I never did like it. Of course, then again, I was 25. But all right. So what the fuck were we talking about?
When we're talking about
Johnson. We were talking about Johnson saying how much he wants to get to work or get to know Peters, which I do think that's a bit of a tell right there. And
so do I.
Money talks. I think he's ready to make the move. He's got a lot of interviews lined up. I'm hoping that he's looking at the rest of them basically as formalities. Carolina's already had 2 interviews with Bill Belichick. I don't know why he's even going to bother talking to them.
Has he actually had 2 interviews?
I thought it was 2. I thought I saw it was 2.
No, I didn't think
he had 2 with Atlanta. That's going to happen.
Oh, Atlanta. That's what I'm thinking about. Sorry, I got him screwed up there. Whatever. One Southern Hick City after another. See, there's one of those bad jokes that I get in trouble for on this show.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Now, John, what's your thoughts on Raheem Morris?
I think that he's already had an apartment in this city, and I've had enough of it. I know back then it was a wholly different situation, and he was just a positions coach and that kind of thing like that. And I'm not really holding that against him. I'm just saying that. But the fact of the matter is he's been a good defensive coordinator with excellent talent. We don't have excellent talent. I don't know that he can do what he's been doing with what we have. As a head coach, I tend to agree. There's guys that are better as coordinators than they are. I mean, we saw one. Norv Turner came here. He showed the world for 7 years that he was just a wishy-washy jar of mayonnaise as a head coach. But you make him an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
boom, things click, right? And then they make him a head coach in San Diego or in Oakland, and it does the same thing. And then he goes back to being an offensive coordinator. It clicks. And then in San Diego, he takes it right back down to the toilet. So yeah, there's guys I think Raheem Morris, for me, falls into that category. Simple as that. Of course, then again, go ahead. Because I was getting ready to get all okay. Here you go. I'm going to go ahead and say something that people are probably not going to like, but I want you to hear me out first, because Raheem Morris, I think, is but one of those guys that Adam Schefter would have said he satisfies the Rooney Rule, and that sentence right there is exactly why I hate the fucking Rooney Rule.
Yeah,
and it's
look. Yeah, there's already been some tweets and some backlash to some media. They've come out. It was actually either today or yesterday,
right?
That the Chargers have said. I think it was Albert Breer. I think even Schefter said it too. All right, so the Chargers have satisfied the Rooney Rule,
right?
And the way that they put it, it's just bad, man. It's just
because that's what it is. And I hate to say it this way, because look, there's a problem that needed to be addressed, and there's really no other way to address it. But you have to think that a guy like
sorry, I don't know who is that?
That must be
my wife.
Oh, is it? Shit, she had a good one.
She shot.
Oh yeah,
look at that. She's been whacking it with a towel with a chamois up there. But see, the thing is, a qualified coach, right, who should get an interview, if he's of color and he gets a call, that thought has to run through his head. Am I now the token?
Yeah.
Because what the Rooney Rule does is reduce this man down to his skin color.
Yeah.
And when
I understand the concept of it. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Something has to be done, but that is a really unfortunate side effect of it, because these are qualified men. There's only 32 of these jobs in the world, and there's in terms of assistant coaches, that's a real small group of people too. You can't be there and be some kind of a stupid idiot that just got dragged along.
Yeah,
simple as that.
So the premise of the Rooney Rule is to get these coaches out in front, and get them, talking with these owners. It's just a bad look when the owners are just bringing them in. They know who they want. Okay, regardless of what what color they are, they already know who they want, but they have to drag them in here. Right. It's kind of degrading and it's
very degrading.
Yeah, it does suck. I get it. Yeah, but I mean, how do you fix that problem? Really?
I don't know how you do. I really don't. Other than you just take the gloves off and you just hope, which is a bad word now, because I used to have this hope that these owners, there's only 32 of them too.
Yeah.
That the color that matters to them the most is green, and winning makes you more green than anything. So that they would go for the best candidate based on that. But I'm not so certain of that. All right. I like to think that at least half of them feel that way, but I can't be certain of all of them. All right. It's just, people suck, man. And I think that's still a problem. So I don't know what the exact answer to the issue is to force NFL teams to at least consider. That seems to be the best possible solution at the moment. But yeah, man, that's tough. I never have liked it for that reason, man, because it takes a man that's qualified and says, well, you're here for this reason.
Yeah.
And it's not anything to do with your job.
Max, which is John's son, just asked, what do you think of Pierce to the Raiders? We touched on that early in the beginning. Yeah, it's a good move. I think it's the right move. They got that team. He got that team playing really hard at the end of the season. I think he went 5-4 to finish off the season. And they're on the up and up. I think they're a quarterback away from really starting to make a little bit of noise in the AFC. Good hire. Yeah, I think they definitely. Mark Davis listened to the fans. He listened to the team. Because they had some big time players saying, "Hey, if you don't hire this guy, I want out."
Max Crosby, for fuck's sake. That's their guy.
Their wide receiver, his name's
Adams.
Oh, Adams.
Devontae Adams. Yeah. He came out and was like, "Listen, he's our guy. He's our guy." So
he is.
So I think that's a good pairing right there. Back to our team, to the Commanders. We all want Ben Johnson. He seems to be the front runner of this team. It's now, if he gets hired, we got to pair him up with somebody with a little bit of experience. And I am pounding to the roof for a guy like Wink Martindale. I think that would be a good matchup right there. for running our defense. Wink's been in the league a very long time. He knows the ins and outs.
He knows how to kill a quarterback.
Yeah,
That's what I want.
That too. I was listening to it was about it was about Antonio Pierce. He's bringing in people like Tom Coughlin, because he says, listen, I know I have blind spots. I need somebody in here to help me, to watch my blind spots, because I don't know everything. I thought that was really big of Antonio Pierce, and he's looking at guys that's been around the league a long time to come in here and to come into Las Vegas and advise them. I think it's really smart, and I think it'd be wise if we get one of these young head coaches, whether it's a McDonald, whether it's a Slowick, whether it's Ben Johnson, for them to do the same thing. Hey, your counterpart, if you're going to be calling plays, whether on defense or offense or what have you, you need to bring in someone with some experience to help you out to check out your blinders, because they're not going to know everything. And Dan Campbell came out today in his interview. I like what he said. He's saying, for the past couple of years, Ben Johnson's been asking all the right questions. He's been learning everything. He's roster construction and all that stuff. And that's to me, that was a glowing review of Ben Johnson.
Do you mean it's funny, isn't it? It's like they're going down. That's going down the exact same model, and what I want to see is kind of the same model of what they've done in the past with McVay and Wade Phillips. Do you know what I mean? Get the old school guy in.
Yeah, that's exactly. You're right. Exactly.
Understand what you're doing.
It's even more than that, because if we're going to go ahead and do what we hope we do and come up away with a rookie quarterback, we're going to need somebody to watch his ass with a good defense that's going to be able to do things that to protect him, to be able to keep scores down, to be able to let a quarterback learn without having to go through blowouts.
Yeah.
Look for all.
Not only that, but I'm talking about the inner workings of a staff.
Sure.
These young guys, they got a lot on their plate coming in. They've been focused on pretty much one thing. The perfect example that Scott mentioned is when McVay brought in Wade Phillips. I mean, Wade Phillips was a coach for many, many years.
Yeah,
a head coach.
He always had good defenses.
Yeah, that too. But he kind of watched this back, and helped him out in the roster construction and taught him what he did not know already. So I think it would be smart if we do go that route. That's
I hope so. I think it makes sense
at this point. Right. Yeah. The only one that knows which way we're going to go with anything right now is Peters, and he might not.
Yeah, and it's nice that everything is being kept hush hush too. It's something that has not happened in this franchise since Dan Snyder bought the team.
Like I said before, it might end up with one of these other head coaching candidates comes in, like a Vrabel. He might come in as a DC, and then we know fine well that in a year's time he may be away again on the coaching carousel, and you've got to accept that as well at the time, because Dan Campbell's not going to let the entire Lions staff, be brought into here, because they're going to have serious holes come the end of the season as well. That's not going to happen. Ben Johnson isn't going to. He might take a few people. He might take Mark Brunell back again from who is quarterback's coach over there. It's an interesting one, because where we end up with this, does even Ben Johnson call his own plays? I know it sounds stupid, but he may get an OC in as well. Because
I would doubt that.
I probably doubt that too, to be honest. But
I think it
has been talked about though.
Well, we can talk about a lot of things. I saw a four-legged cat that was fucking a cow the other day, but that doesn't mean it actually happened. We can talk about it though. Scott is probably going to tell me right now that he did see it. He's out in North Dakota.
Ben Standing
I had a point. I forgot what it was now. Go ahead.
Well, maybe this might refresh your memory. Ben Standing put out a tweet earlier today about the butterfly effect and these coaching, openings. Now that the Raiders have made Antonio Pierce their head coach, and it makes sense for what he says, that now the pressure is on the Chargers and Harbaugh. Is that situation going to happen? Most likely, probably. What's the Titans going to do? Are they going to go with a guy? And I'm paraphrasing Ben's tweet. Are they going to go with a guy like a Slowick, or maybe even a lesser known guy like Brian? Was it Brian Callahan? Play caller from Cincinnati.
Is he?
Yeah. Is Seattle going to go back to Quinn? I mean, Quinn was the DC.
That's where
there's Slowick in there. There's Raheem Morris. And then Washington, I think, that Ben Johnson and is between Washington and Carolina. I mean, it will David Tepper open his pocket that much more to lure Ben Johnson from our grasp. And then what's going to happen with Vrabel? Because, I think he's still a good coach.
Sure.
I don't necessarily.
That was his first gig.
Yeah,
he did quite well.
I can't believe that the Patriots put Mayo in charge, Jared Mayo. And okay. I mean, that was a head scratcher because I thought it was nailed on that Vrabel would end up there.
Well,
from player,
Mayo's probably being groomed.
From the reports, Mayo was Bill's. It was signed into the contract.
Yeah, I heard that.
Rod Mayo would take over for Bill Belichick once Belichick left. So I wonder if that was already set in stone. And then, because the Vrabel firing was a surprise. Right. I mean, let's be real.
Right.
Like he's had a down couple of years, but he's a solid coach and I wouldn't hate it if we hired him. I just think he might want too much roster control than what Adam Peters is willing to give up. That's why I never thought a Bill Belichick type is going to come here. And that's why I don't think Harbaugh's going to come here. It was it was a crazy fire. And I mean, like, no one expected that to happen. I wonder if the Patriots, thought the same thing too. I wonder if they're like, well, I mean, we already put Mayo in our.
I think that the Patriots, that's the way they do things, man. And I think that when Bill sat down and had all his discussions with Kraft, that was brought up right then and there. That because Bill has always done the succession, always, and it's been that way, and it's been working. And it probably comes down from Kraft. I do have some things while we're talking about the Patriots that I do need some explanations for. I want to know about this. Let me see here. Everybody says
Vrabel's been calling the Tennessee defense for the Titans. Yeah. Arthur Smith used to be their OC before he got a head coaching job, but Vrabel's been calling that defense, and he's been doing a good job.
Average to mediocre quarterback. He's Kirk Cousins light. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. I'm just going off Scott G's comment that he had 1 year as a defensive coordinator. And I mean, but he's been calling the defense. I lost a bet a long time ago.
No, wait a minute. You can't just gloss over it that quick. Here, go ahead, finish your there. We're gonna have to talk about this.
But Vrabel's been their de facto defensive coordinator for the Titans for a long time, and the Titans always had a solid defense. They've always had a solid defense.
Yep.
Yeah, they did. All right, so he lost a bet, he says. Look, I'm going to say this right
That was like 20 years ago.
I get it, but I'm going to just ask anybody who's
Where
looking.
did you get that fucking picture from?
Oh, I don't know, man.
You go on my Facebook, you freak.
This looks to me like, I don't know where Scotty got it for me. But this looks to me like a guy who has a couple of Girl Scouts in the basement. But, who am I to say it? This is where I found this picture was on a Tom Brady reminiscing website. So, there you are getting your picture signed for him. So Tom was good. And by the way, just to make sure everybody knows, this was the photo that you got done for you. Thanks for a great time. Love Tom. So yeah, man.
I had an ex-girlfriend that was a Patriots fan, and
so you wore the jersey in solidarity with her. Was this after?
No. I lost a bet. I bet stupidly that we would beat them. This was years ago. It was during.
You don't bet like
it's an old jersey.
You with your girlfriend, you bet blowjobs and shit like that. What's the matter with you?
Well, Scott G was referencing that about Slowick. The difference between the humongous difference between Vrabel and Slowick is Vrabel played in the league for a very long time at a very high level.
Super Bowl after Super Bowl.
So
and
I think that argument
we were talking about. Yeah, he's a study of that.
Yeah. So yeah. Sorry, you lost that one there, buddy.
I think you need the two things that we look at from Adam Peters here is whoever we hire, they need to have the leadership aspect as well. I think that's a big thing.
Yeah. And
It's not
that
just about
is
the
a
talent.
question mark with Ben Johnson. That is a question mark.
Oh, I don't think it is, because I think that's a well-disciplined offense. All right. I think other than the fact that
It
one
is.
time they run really well. It's offensive coordinator is more than just play calling. All right. It's coordinating an offense. And you watch that team. I don't have it in front of me, but let me pull it up and let's see just how many penalties they've been called for. I'll bet it's not too many in terms of the rest of the league.
I mean, look, John, you're preaching to the choir. He's got Montgomery, he's got Gibbs, both over 1,000 yards. He's got Sam Laporta with, sorry, was it not Montgomery?
10 touchdowns.
10 touchdowns for Laporta.
No, he's done great with really good players. That's the thing. When we're talking about leadership, though, like that's I'm not saying a question like a bad thing. It's like we don't know because he hasn't been doing it long with the guys like Slowick and Ben Johnson and McDonald's. Like we don't know anything about their leadership because they haven't been in the league long enough to really grasp that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they don't have leadership qualities. I'm not saying that. I just don't think we know.
I think we've been burnt here before with having. I'm sick of seeing that photo of these are all the coaches that left Washington. Right. I don't care where they were holding jock straps and they were.
And in the past 25 years, I'm tired of that.
Quality control coaches and stuff like that. I know McVay wasn't, but he's
quality control I get that. Coaches. Okay, you know what they are? They are ass
foul washers. Yeah.
Jock
straps up the floor. Look, the fact is Johnson's been in the league for 10 years. All right. And 11 years now. He hasn't been an offensive coordinator for that long, but I think he's been there long enough with Detroit. One of the things that I like the most about him, as opposed to say Slowick, who he designs a great offense, but I think that Johnson has seen how it's built. All right. How they built it, how they were able to come up with these players, because look, David Montgomery was not this David Montgomery.
It's true.
Okay. And he is now. He's fucking badass. Laporta's a rookie. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's one of the elite wide receivers in the NFL right now. And I mean, you could have.
The thing is, John, he's a slot receiver. He's not an outside receiver.
Doesn't matter. He's a weapon. What he's doing with Jared Goff.
And Montgomery did good when he was in Detroit. He was injured some. He wasn't bad,
Chicago, wasn't he?
Yeah, Chicago.
He did all right. Yeah. Jesus Christ! Now he looks like he's a freaking second-year back that's just ready to bust everybody's head, and he does.
That's a mix of things. But listen to was it Joe Philbin? He was a coach. That's who brought him and Scott Abraham had an interview. Scott Abraham interviewed Joe Philbin, and that's who brought Ben Johnson into the league with the Dolphins. That's where he got to start at. And he kind of worked his way up. He, worked his way. That's how he met Dan Campbell, actually. And
Campbell was an interim head coach there when they fired somebody.
I think it was Joe Philbin. Is when they
right.
Fired. Yeah,
Joe Philbin, who lasted less than a year, right?
But I mean that was a good interview. And, gave some insights, and Scott Abraham was like, "You think he's got good leadership skills?" He's like, "I honestly do." I mean. Ben Johnson, he worked his way. He was a quality control coach, ass wiper, professional ass wiper, and he moved his way up. He spent like 8 years in Miami. I think he worked his way up to the tight ends coach, and then went from there. I think assistant quarterbacks coach or something like that, and then now 2 years as an OC,
receivers coach. Yeah,
So.
He was tight end. He went to Detroit. I'm looking at him here. He's offensive quality control coach there for 1 year, and then tight ends coach for 2 years, and then passing game coordinator and offensive coordinator, which I think is a good resume on how to learn how to lead. I think it really is. I think you came up through the ranks. He worked with the offenses. It wasn't one of these guys where you see that he was a coach of special teams here. He was a coach of defensive backs there. He's a coach of wide receivers here. Like you see some of these guys.
And another thing that he has going for him, and even though he didn't play, he was third stringer, but he was a quarterback at UNC. And so to be a quarterback at UNC, you had to be a quarterback in high school, a damn good quarterback in high school, So there is some leadership, but still, we just don't know.
We don't, and it's true. I mean, ultimately it's up to Adam Peters, it's up to Josh Harris to make that decision. And I think as long as we can get someone online who can row the boat and they're all singing the same song sheet, it's going to be good. I'm as excited as I've been for a long time.
It's going to be good. Look, I think one of the things we were when I had my what's up, man? When I had my old fart moment there, and I forgot what the hell I was talking about, what it was. Oh, now I've forgotten again.
Oh shit. Scott, go ahead and retweet that.
Yeah. I'll have a look at that Jalen Ramsey tweet. That'd be interesting to see.
What's going on? Steve from the Command This Podcast just jumped in the chat.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking
Robinson.
about? Did we have an opportunity yet to talk about Adam Peters?
We talked a little bit when he was hired. We did not talk about after his press conference. So
I think he's all right. I found that from what I've heard, he will use the towels in the guest room that are only meant for show. He will also use the soap that your wife put out there, and he'll blame it on you, which is really not pretty cool. And I hear he eats a little too much at the table, but that's just me. He's a little heavy on the rolls.
I'm excited to see. Again, we just don't know, but. If Ben Standing, which is one of those naysayers, that always try to find like the bad in everything, he even says he cannot find one single person to say a bad thing about Adam Peters.
Naysayers is getting to be the new N-word. You can't say that too much.
And I think the new, how, what was it? Position flex, Buffalo nickel. Those trigger words. I think the new trigger word this year is going to be what was it? In sync, or like what is it? What did Peter say and Josh Harris say?
I don't know what the word was.
I don't know. I think it's something like NC. I know they're going to say it again, but doing things together. Something like
synergy,
alignment.
Alignment. There it is. Alignment. That's
well
right
done. Well done, Deluxe. Thanks,
word.
Deluxe.
For the 2024 season, alignment. Yeah,
alignment. All right, well that's good because if things are out of a line, nothing's going to run right.
And Scott G, they got it.
This is alignment,
yeah.
Right, dear Jesse. So did you have to pay for that, or did he just give it to you?
I bought the TB12 workout plan. So,
all right. So, well. I'll tell you what, I do get the feeling. Now, this is the question that I'll ask to you because we've looked at Johnson from all the other angles. Now we spent the show looking at Johnson, everybody. Yes, we have. We've looked at Johnson. We've been looking at Johnson this entire game.
Your friends and your Johnson.
That's right.
Hey, look. Hey, what? BJ comes here.
That sounds like fun.
And is the coach of this team. We're going to have some fun with some Johnson.
Well, yeah, I would think so. But if BJ comes and that's the Johnson thing we're going to have fun with, then you're going to have to
girl and your Johnson.
He's going to have to be involved because I don't want to have anything to do with that part of it. All right. So anyway, of all of the reasoning that we're giving for these possible drawbacks a little bit here and there, gut feel. Scott, go ahead. Gut feel. How do you feel?
Gut feel on what?
On well, we've only had 3 candidates that we've interviewed just yet. All right. I think we all want Johnson. We're all riding high on the Johnson. I wish I had this piece of tape. I think the NFL on the NFL Network the other day, dude. I wish I had this piece of tape. I didn't have time to go collect it. I was going to get it for the show. Maybe I'll have it for Monday. But they were talking about the Texans on NFL Network, and they were talking to Maurice Jones-Drew about it. And he goes, "So can the Texans just ride the D all the way?" Like that. And Maurice Jones-Drew just looked at him. So I'll have to go get that tape. So now
we're gonna ride high on Johnson.
We're all talking about the Johnson.
Keep our fingers crossed that he's the man.
So who else are we interviewing? Who do we have tomorrow?
I think we haven't got anyone else booked in at the moment. I think we've got to wait until the playoffs are over.
Most of the candidates that we got are still playing. So
yeah, Mike. I think McDonald is going to probably get a call.
All right.
But I think Harbaugh
the 22nd is the key day. I think that's the day you can actually have in-person interviews,
face to face, isn't it? 22nd
with coaches that are still playing.
Right.
Yeah, because they didn't have it. They had it, and I believe they
we had a Zoom
interview
call
with Raheem Morris already.
Yeah, we had a Zoom.
I don't know.
We had a Zoom with Johnson.
We had a
Today,
Zoom with
today,
we had a Zoom with Johnson. We had a interview with Dan Quinn.
Curious
Yes,
why you
today,
couldn't have a Zoom with
Morris yesterday.
McDonald last week.
You can't because they're in, even though they're on a bye week, because they're in the playoffs. It's not allowed.
Well, they'll be able to.
After their first game. It was
First
game. Yeah, the Tuesday after their first game.
I see. All right. Well, we do have some playoffs coming up. You guys ready to make some picks?
Let's do it.
Yeah, and we can do
Last
that.
week sucked.
Scott pulls out the big amount. Yes, last week completely fucking sucked. All of the money that Scott told me last week that I won for the season, I lost last week. I don't think I hit even one fucking bet last week.
You did. I'll go with we'll go with the scores first. So this week, Jesse, you got 3 out of 6. John, you got 2 out of 6, and I got 4 out of 6.
You actually won one. Look at that, Scotty.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, get in.
I'll let you have it.
And there, so I backed Houston, and I backed Houston, Kansas City, Buffalo, and Detroit.
I went hard on the Browns, and I lost my.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, you did.
So the
biggest bet of the year on this particular part of the podcast was that bet on the Browns.
I'm not even going to give you your returns and stuff, but the only bet that came in for you this week, Jesse, was $50 on the under in Kansas City.
Fuck off.
giving you $95. You put down $1,050, and your loss was
900 and what?
54, 95455. It's a massive loss. John, you got a few. You laid the points with Kansas City. Laid the 4.5. That gave you 93.48. You also took the under for 50 for 100. That was 119.91 came back from that. You took the points on the Rams. 195. You got that one as well. Your put down was 1,050, the same as Jesse. Your returns were 570. Not good. For me, I got Houston. Exactly right. Mine was Houston took the points, 95. KC laying the points as well. I got that one 200 on that one. That gave me 373. I also took the under, as you two did, giving me the 95 there. My put down was only 650 this last week. My returns were still a loss, 564.81, a loss of $85.
Frugal Scott.
Yes,
I will risk nothing, and so I will lose nothing.
So least loss for the week was me. So perfect. I know. I got you guys.
Good games this week. Good games.
Here's some good games this week. Very good games this week.
All right. So
the good games are on so late for me. It's like,
I know. The Bills and KC game. I can't watch it. I got to go to sleep.
Yeah, me too.
All right, Scott G. Thanks for joining us, bub.
Yeah, man. Take care, Scott. Be warm, bud.
See you, Scott. Take care, mate.
All right. Scott doesn't care about our picks because Scott apparently didn't listen to our disclaimer, which I have to read right now. And he bet and almost lost the family farm up there in North Dakota. So the disclaimer, are you ready for those of you that have never joined us for our pick segment? This is purely for fun only. If you take our advice and go ahead and bet with us, you're a fucking idiot. And that's it.
Money.
You're a fucking moron if you listen to our advice. And
by the way, remember the golden rule. The golden rule of the podcast, John. Fans are stupid.
Fans are stupid. Yeah. Max, tell me again, who was the guy that Joe Philbin drafted with his whole family? Holy shit, he drafted with the Dolphins. He drafted a punt returner in the first round from Ohio State, and I can't remember his name. But he said, everybody was like, you got to be crazy. He's drafted a punt returner. Like the 7th overall pick, he drafted a punt returner. And when he went to the press conference, he said, you don't understand. Not only are you getting, God damn it, what's his name? Not only are you getting him, but you're getting his whole family. And oh my God, I made jokes for years about how his aunt was out. They're going to maybe cut his cousin this week.
Well, maybe Ben Johnson is. Oh, Ted Ginn Jr. Yeah,
Ted Ginn Jr. That's right.
Ted Ginn lasted a long time in the league, but he definitely wasn't worth the 7th overall pick.
No, Pete knows. He was a Bang Radio Hour listener. He knows how much fun we had with that. Oh my God, with that
first game on the docket.
Here we go.
Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. And this line is a little big for me. It's 9.5.
It's huge.
Ravens.
Way too big.
Yeah. I like how Ravens are winning this game. I don't know if they're going to win by 10 points. So I'm going to take the Ravens to win, but I think the Texans will cover.
I tend to agree.
I'm going to take the over actually in this too. I'm going to lay 50 on the over. That's the only money I'm going to put. I'm going to put 50 on the over. Yeah. Stroud is coming. It's going to be a little chilly. Might be wet.
Yeah, it'll be 15 degrees with the wind. It's going to be in the 20s.
Yeah. Well, then that's not that bad, man. That's
you'll warm up. You'll be feeling all right. It's not great, but it's not like it was in Kansas City. I don't know why I put these icicles on here. It's not that cold. Now, if I was out there, I'd be bitching within 5 minutes. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is this? So I tell you what, I am going to take the Texans to cover, and I'm going to put 50 on that. All right. I think this will be a closer game than people give it credit for. I don't think the Ravens are going to run away with it. I could see this being a slugfest. I will take the over on this as well, and I'm going to put 100 on that. So that's my bets for this game in particular.
I got we'll do props bets after Scotty.
We'll do props.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so basically I'm in exactly the same as you, John. I am going to take the Texans to cover. I'm not going to touch the over-under on this because I've got no idea. I mean, it was funny enough. You went on the under on Texans last week. And they got it. They got it themselves.
They got it in the first half almost.
I was like, oh, okay. So I don't want to touch this. This could be a third, I don't know. It could be 65 plus points in this game, but then again, it might be.
Could be 15, 20 points in this game.
Yeah,
it's not going to be. It's not going to be warm.
So I'll take the over on there as well to put 100 on that one.
All right. So I got a Isaiah Likely.
Oof.
Plus 210. Yep. I want to put 100 on that.
You're just going to take Isaiah Likely 4 touch anytime.
Yeah, I'm not going to parlay on that.
I think that dude is badass.
That'll win me $210.
I'll tell you what, I will parlay on that.
I'm going to parlay a Lamar Jackson rushing and a Zay Flowers.
No, not Zay Flowers.
And Flowers. Devin Singletary.
Where's Singletary?
He's running back for the Texans.
Is he at the Texans now?
Right. Yeah.
That is a
is that a $50 bet for that
plus
one?
+115. I'm gonna put 50 on it. That would win me wait a second. No. That would win me $558.
All right. I got a parlay too. I'm going to go Gus Edwards and Nico Collins anytime touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, nice.
It's not going to be nearly as much, but I think it's probably more probable. Although last week, my freaking parlays that I thought would be probable turned out to not. Seems like everybody in the Chiefs, everybody on the Chiefs scored except the ones that we needed to have score last week.
How much you want to put on that?
I'm going to put $50 on that.
All right, I'll win you $217. You know what? I'm going to what was my 3?
Jackson, Flowers, and Singletary.
All right, I'm going to take out Flowers. I'm just going to do the 2.
Just Jackson, Singletary.
Yeah, that would be a I'll do 100.
100.
Win me 362.
Nice. Is that excluding your stake or including it? That total returns of 362, or is it 462 with you?
It would be 462. Yeah, that would be 462.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I've just got to write on here plus stake, so I know.
That's exactly a great question, Peter. You know, who knows? Who knows? Because Lamar hasn't been good in the playoffs. When he hasn't. But
I'll tell you what.
But are you taking Baltimore in this game, John?
Yes, I'm taking Baltimore in this game for sure. I tell you this, what I think about, I said it early in the season. I think that Lamar Jackson has an opportunity to be MVP. I think I said it preseason. He was my MVP pick. If we look back on our In the Big and Boss book, maybe it was.
He was.
He was my MVP pick, and I think that this is the year that he's going to go ahead and do it. He's got a good cast around him, and likely, I'll tell you what, man. They talking about whether they're going to start Mark Anderson or not. I don't think they need him. I think Isaiah Likely, that dude, Andrews, Isaiah Likely, man, that dude's fucking big and badass. I like him. He plays like a bully.
Pete's just put a question in the chat there for you, John, saying basically, is Collins injured? Nico Collins. I don't know if he is.
He's playing. He's playing. Nico's playing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, holy water. All right, we got Green Bay Packers at the San Francisco 49ers. Again, this is a 9.5 point spread. Listen, the Packers surprised the hell out of all of us last week when they went into Dallas and just totally dismantled the Dallas Cowboys.
Wasn't that fun? Wasn't that great. Fun? We got to watch. Yay for crying Cowboys fans. If you didn't see that last week, you should have watched because that was.
But this is a totally different team that they're going up against. This team is ready. This team is good. The 49ers are going to the Super Bowl this year. Give me the 49ers. I'm going to stay away from the spreads. I don't like these high spreads in these games. I'm going to take the over in this again. I'm taking the over. I probably should. I'm putting 50 on the over.
I'm putting 100 on the over in this game, and I don't think the Packers give a shit who they're playing up against. I think Jordan Love is playing his ass off right now.
Yes, playing good.
Receivers are playing. Dude, Jones owns the fucking AT&T Stadium. He owns that goddamn place, lock, stock, and barrel. I think he had a damn good game last week.
Totally different, though.
It is a totally different defense. I don't know if it's a totally different defense. I think that the Cowboys defense.
I'm talking about Levi Stadium. You said and Aaron Jones owns Dallas Stadium. Well, he does. 49ers ain't Dallas.
No, it's not. And I think this is a great opportunity to watch a couple of really good quarterbacks that are going to match up. We're going to get to watch a really good running back matchup with McCaffrey and Jones. I tell you what, I'm taking the Packers to cover in this game, and I'm going to put 150 down on that. Now, you know what? Fucking $200 down on the Packers to cover. They're going to cover in this game, and I'm taking the over for another 50 bucks.
You got 100 on the over already, John.
I got 100 on the over already. Well, then, goddamn it, go with my initial thought.
49ers are going to wind up winning by 25.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So I'm actually looking at this. I'm going to lay these points for the 49ers.
You are
200. I'm going to put 200 on this.
Ooh.
They're going to absolutely smoke the Packers.
Rugal
I'm sorry,
Scott
they are not going to have. They have not got an answer. They have not got an answer for the 49ers. And then when we get into parlays, this is going to be.
You don't have any faith in Joe Barry? Come on.
No, come on now. Joe Barry should have been fired 10 weeks ago.
That's the thing. Joe fucking Barry.
Exactly.
All right.
I know, but damn it, they do a hell of a lot.
Look, dude, one swan doesn't make a summer, mate. You know what I mean? That's it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you can be as romantic as you want, but you know what I said.
This is ridiculous. This man.
I'm sorry. That is the crying girls Cowboy fans are great, but that guy just killed me. That's the Cowboys fan reaction to the game. That was funny.
All right. I got for touchdown parlay. I got a Christian McCaffrey, Aaron Jones, and
please don't do it. Please don't do it. It's because it'll be the same one I want. I know where you go with this. Just say his name.
And a Brandon Ayuk.
Oh, you took mine. There's mine. Damn.
You can have the same. You know.
I know you can. I know you can.
Okay, I'm going to change.
I'm going to
now with all this cachet
on that
50
three-way parlay. Yeah, 50 will win. I'll get back like $330. $336 total back. I mean, it's 286 to win.
336 is the total. Okay, cool. I got you. John, go ahead, mate.
All right, I'm putting a parlay $100 down on an IU touchdown and a Watson touchdown. I want Christian Watson.
Christian Watson, that's big because he has not been. He ain't been on the field much.
I'm taking Christian Watson for a touchdown.
You said how much?
$100. Putting that down right there, and I'm putting another $100 down.
That's
Jordan. Go ahead. Tell me how much.
$775.
There you go.
Johnny's gonna be taking his wife out to the imaginary
having a
Red
nice
Lobster.
Red Lobster. What the world?
Because Watson ain't been hitting the field all that much.
If I took my wife to Red Lobster, well, she wouldn't sleep.
You'd be in the car. That's where you'd be sleeping.
He would look wistfully over at a better restaurant while he sat there.
100%.
I'm also going to put another $100 down on a Jordan Love 3 TD performance.
Wow, are you really backing the Packers here?
Yeah,
What?
I like the Packers. I like Jordan Love right now. I think he's hot, man. He's playing well.
Let's see. Where's the passing TDs? Okay, you said 3 touchdowns?
3.
Shit. Hold on.
All right, I know times 3.
It doesn't give me that.
Well,
I've got it here. I've got it here on Bet365.
Oh wait, yeah. Hold on, I got it.
7-1.
You said who?
I said
No,
Jordan Love.
that's what is it?
Jordan Love.
7-1, so it's plus 700.
700.
So,
Yeah, that's not all that much, really.
I'm going to take it anyway.
Okay, so I'm going to do a 3-way touchdown parlay, the same as you, Jesse. Mine is McCaffrey, Jones, and George Kittle.
You are looking bald, Scotty.
Right.
I am looking bald. It's gone a bit too.
How
the
much?
barber, the Turkish barber's gone crazy. 100 on that one, Jesse.
The Turkish barbers.
All right, that'll bring you a total 750 back.
I think that would be a great name for a song, by the way. The Turkish barber's gone crazy.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah, it would be.
I've got Mac.
I'm gonna do a
Kill.
Another one. I'm gonna do a Jaden Reed and a Deebo Samuel touchdown. I put 50 on it. My return would be 200 total. It'll be 291 back.
Tell you what, Scott, that's the kind of bet that gets you going.
Jesse's Carson Wentz was the over in the LA and San Francisco. It was 40.5 and turned out to be 41.
So now you know. That's how Jesse felt when I kept playing that thing of the guy, doing the squeal like a pig thing for him. So,
you know, I genuinely have no idea what I was actually doing there. I've got no clue. Don't know
probably
if I had an itchy leg.
I don't know if you had an itchy leg or you were just stroking your balls or something. But that,
Nah, it is what it is.
It is
All right, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Detroit Lions. Over under is 49.5. Lions are favored by 6.5. Listen, I like the Lions in this. I like them to cover. Listen, who is it? Not Lovie Smith, but
Todd Bowles. It's Todd Bowles.
Yeah. Bowles has got the boys playing well. Bucks, I don't know if you say they shocked the Eagles, but they beat the Eagles pretty handily. But this is a total different team. This team is the Lions. They are raring up for something special in Detroit, and it's well deserved. This team, the Lions, are going to the NFC Championship, 100%. Give me the Lions.
I'm going to absolutely roasted in these comments, by the way.
Are you really? What are you getting roasted for?
That would have been a smaller movement.
Damn.
She better start defrosting that car because that's where she's sleeping. I tell you.
I'm glad my wife doesn't watch this damn show.
Yeah, give me the Lions laying the points, and I'm going to put 200 on that.
I am as well. 200 on the Lions laying the points, and I'm also going to go the over.
You know what?
Actually, you know what? You know
Exactly.
what? I'm sorry. I misspoke. I'm going to go the under on this, and I'm going to put 50 on it. But it's
Yeah,
not
I'd
gonna be
lean toward
by much.
I'd lean toward the under as well.
You know, you were talking to me about Raheem Morris before. Todd Bowles to me is very similar.
I think he's a great coach. I like Todd Bowles.
He's a great coach. He's a great defensive coach. He really is. But as a head coach, he won a very bad division. He really didn't. I mean, yeah, they beat the Eagles, but really what they did was they shoveled the final loads of dirt on top of the Eagles. The Eagles were done and ready to go home. Jason Kelsey, I'm ready to retire. So, great, you retire. The fact of the matter is, I think that the Bucs run ends here, and I think it's going to end badly. All right. Detroit's going to run them over. Detroit, you're right. I think is high. I think they're fucking they're revved up, man.
Yeah, they're ready. They're ready to perform for their city. I mean, just looking at that game last week and the joy from their fans, like just being like vibrating off your TV set. It was great. It was good to see. I'm happy for them. Y'all know I've been on Detroit for the past couple of years now. I've liked them.
You have
been up. They're obviously Commanders are my favorite team, but I do like the Lions and good for them. They deserve it.
Vibrating TV set.
You throw some shade here. It's great. I love it. There's more shade on this podcast thrown than Jay Gruden and RG3.
I kind of like that now that I know your wife is watching.
Ooh, there she is. There he is. There he is.
I know. We're gonna with Scott with his new haircut. We can watch him turn red all the way up to the top there.
I'm going bald, but I can't. I haven't got time, or I haven't got the time or patience or money for a hair transplant. So
fuck all that. Deal with your head the way it is. I don't know. Look, hair transplants are for guys that are not fucking confident in what they can do with their own penis. Don't fall for that nonsense.
And that's why Scott's contemplating on getting
what you are. Do what you're gonna do.
It's spilled a pram twice, mate. That's all I need. Don't you worry.
All you need. That's right. So you know what? That's right, my friend. You don't need
done his job. It's done his job. It's
just cut it off.
So the only bet I'm putting on this game with the Lions
find bald men sexy. You know that? That's why you're bald. That's because your head's been rubbed, man. And I don't want to talk about how, but you can picture things. Anyway, to bring down the mood back down, let's just take a look at that for a second.
Oh my God, Eric Bieniemy, please.
All right.
Lions laying a points 200. The same bet. That's
yes, I am.
And same
okay.
Jeez, can you ban her from the chat?
Can I ban her? No, I'm gonna actually send her the link to bring her in.
No, don't do that.
That's fantastic. We always love it when a wife gets a hold of the show.
What'd you have, Scotty? You say you're putting 200 on Detroit laying the points.
Lions laying the points, same as you two, exactly the same bet. That's
right
it.
on. All right, parlays.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go. Man, it's so tough. Montgomery and Gibbs have been playing fucking phenomenal, but they usually flip flop in TDs. But I'm gonna go. Sam Laporta. I'm gonna go David Montgomery and Mike Evans.
All right,
putting 50 to get total back 407.
So it was Laporta, Evans, and Montgomery.
Montgomery, yeah.
Mine isn't as many names. It's just a little different. I got Montgomery for 2 touchdowns and a Josh Reynolds touchdown.
Wow.
That's big. Hold on. I'll do that. And then you said 2 touchdowns. Let's see.
David Montgomery. Yep.
Let's see. Where am I at?
And Jesse, did you want 50 on yours?
Yeah.
Got you.
That is huge. The odds are plus 2404. And you said 50?
No, I said 100.
Oh, 100.
Oh, my
Good gracious. I'll win you $2,504.
He who dares wins. Right, Scotty?
Is that what I heard? Yes, that's what they say. That's what they say. Yeah.
That's what they say. By this time next year.
We'll call them them.
Them. Them. That's what them say. And you know what?
Yeah.
This time next year, we'll be
Could all be millionaires. It will be, yeah.
Right. You're gonna get sick of me.
I do like that
I
bet.
am.
I might put 20
I
on
fucking
it.
love that show. Although once they turned it into an hour, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's just triggers the absolute. He's amazing. Triggers
Funny
amazing.
shit. Yeah, the
seen
back characters crack me up. Boise
Have you
cracks
seen
me
the
up.
one? Have you seen the one where Del Boy falls through the bar yet?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's yes. That's fucking awesome. Yes, that's goddamned awesome. Anyway, Jesse doesn't know what we're talking.
Anyway, he doesn't have
Yeah,
no idea. so
He
it's fine,
thinks
yeah.
he thinks BBC means Tamarick Hemingway. So
Hey, Scott, I'm gonna do a 2 touchdown for Jahmyr Gibbs,
Yeah.
and a touchdown for Rashad White. 1. No,
ooh.
and I'm gonna
He's
put
been running
50,
well.
and that will win me 400, and I'll get back $477. I think one of those, either Gibbs or Montgomery, one of those will score 2 touchdowns.
Montgomery's the man. I'm telling you what, man, that dude runs as good as anybody I've seen. And I mean, that counts Barry Sanders and all that. And I don't mean like the elites, but I tell you what, in terms of how a running back should take care of the ball, and he hits that hole hard, angry, and fast. And I just absolutely love it, man. That dude is he is arms and elbows going through there, knees and elbows. I love it. He's tough. I like him.
See, Jesse, this is the problem here. You get on this and you get tempted.
I
You
know.
do put
Because
the
Sam
phone
Laporta,
down.
2 touchdowns for Sam Laporta is plus 1,000.
Yeah. He ain't getting 2 touchdowns in this game. Not with
Not
the
with
other
David
weapons.
Montgomery and Josh Reynolds getting 3
no.
right there.
Great odds. All right. What you got for your parlay?
I'm not doing any.
Oh, you pussy.
His wife is
Yeah.
watching.
All right. Next game. We got the last game.
Great
Chiefs-
game. Won't be able to watch
Yeah.
it though. I'll
Chiefs-
watch the highlights and I might watch the game back when I get in from work. That probably sounds better.
Chiefs and the
2.5.
Bills. Bills are favored by 2.5. Over under 41.5. This is the very first away playoff game for Patrick Mahomes. How many times
That's
have we heard
incredible.
that? Yeah.
That's incredible.
And he's been in the playoffs ever since he's came into the league.
Fastest guy to the Hall of Fame I've ever seen. He's
Yeah.
got it already
100%.
wrapped up.
100%.
I mean, him
never
and Brady. I mean, Brady's damn good too. I mean,
Yeah.
but Holmes is a different type of quarterback than Brady.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
He's not
but
well
I
liked in our household, that's for sure.
I'm going to say this, guys. Chiefs are losing this game.
I agree.
So yeah, I think so too. I actually
Bills
think
are
so
covering.
too.
I'm going to put 100 on this. I'm going to take the over. I'm going to put 50 on the over and 100 on the Bills laying the points.
Got ya.
I'm not touching the points. Yeah, 2.5. Yeah, I think they'll win by a field goal. I'll do the same thing. I'm going to put 100 on the Bills laying the points. I will take the over. What's the weather going to be like up there? Hang
It's
on a
freezing cold. There's snow.
Peter's
Snow's
absolutely
falling
right.
now.
Is it snow? I don't think that matters. Did you see that field last week? I mean, all the crowd was sitting in snow, but the field was completely clean.
Yeah. Yeah, they got heated. Their field's heated too. So
They got the coil. They got the coils underneath the turf, which makes it heated.
Peter
field.
says it's amazing to think if Tony doesn't line up off sides, this game is in Kansas City, and he's right.
Exactly
He's
right. Yeah.
100% right.
But-
To Kadarius Tony's like the joker of the league.
How much
Yeah.
are you putting on the? Did you say 100 on Bills laying the points, Jesse?
Yes.
Got you, sorry.
Look, the Bills, they've gotten hot. I think they're a very dangerous team. The Chiefs, they ran away with the game against Miami. Miami just was not prepared to play in those conditions last week. I think if Miami and the Chiefs
How do you
played,
prepare to play in that? You don't. You can't.
if the Miami and the Chiefs, Miami and the Dolphins, if they played on like a neutral field and normal weather conditions, I think the game would have been a lot closer than what it was. The one worry is Isaiah Pacheco. Bill's got a little bit of injuries. That's what you really got to think about when you're betting this game. because they're beat up. They are expecting one of their linebackers is out, and one of the two really good ones that they have. But the other one is iffy. It's 50-50 of whether he's going to play or not. So Pacheco might have a good game. I'm actually going to have him in one of my parlays. But I think the Bills get this, man. I think the Bills, we're going to see Bills-Ravens in the AFC title game.
I agree. I'm going to go ahead and put $100 down on the Bills, given that 2.5 points. And I think that they're going to win this game. I think a field goal is probably about right, which would give me the win, which was fine with me. That's why I'll take it. Yeah, that's why I'll take it. I will tell you this. Jesse and we were having a bit of an argument in the chat about, Joe Flacco, dude, last week he got, remember, no call, right? No call, you said. And I said, no, that should be, he got hit while he was sliding, and he was going down. You said, oh, it's bang, bang. All right. So in the Bills game, Allen does the same damn thing.
Allen flopped that.
What?
Allen's a flopper.
It doesn't matter. It was the same hit in the same circumstance. He draws the flag. Nah. I think Flacco got hosed on that thing.
I thought that was all right. I thought that was all right.
John, on the over, are you going $50 on the over?
No, I'm going to go $100 on the over.
100 on the over as well.
Yeah,
wow.
I'll take that.
Because Flacco's one is when Flacco was still upright.
Freaking 360 on top of him with his ass.
But Flacco was still upright when
he was
going left.
Well,
when he went for his tackle, it was. I think it was that close. When it slows down, when they slow that play down, it looks a lot worse than what it did in real time.
I thought it was a penalty at regular speed. For one, I tell you, one thing I don't like is this. Oh, they're going to let them play in the playoffs, right? They're going to let them play, which is great. Hold your flags in on plays that are close. But God damn it, some teams' playoff games are in October, November. Their fucking season is on the line.
Yeah.
At the end of Thanksgiving. And what makes it any different now than it is then? It's just as important for anybody. If you're going to call it this way now, call it that way then. That's the way I see it. And it drives me crazy that they don't. That's the only thing I had to say about that. I have a parlay, but go ahead, Scotty.
So it's okay. Bills, I'm laying the points 100 on that. And then we'll get into the final parlays of the week.
Well, right on. All right. I think man, I like both Pacheco and Rashid Rice.
I do too. But I'm going to add
James Cook. This is going to be one of my parlays. All score touchdown. That's plus 1153, and I'm going to put 50 on that. And that's going to bring me home 625. And then I also will have a
blocked field goal and the Gatorade is orange.
Go for it, Jesse.
A Stephon Diggs, Travis Kelce, and Dalton Kincaid parlay for $50. That's plus 1860. And that will win me total $970. No, I'm sorry, $980.
Ooh. John?
All right, I'm just going to go with a Dalton Kincaid and Rashee Rice anytime touchdown for $50. And I would like to see if you would let me do Patrick Mahomes 2 interceptions for $50.
All right, so that would
be Bill's defense 2 interceptions.
The Rashid Rice and Dalton Kincaid would bring you back $375.
Holy Water's a great guy. You just gotta love a dude that looks like this. Go Commander.
I know.
He's starting.
There you go.
Fair play.
Interceptions. I don't know if I don't have that. Let's see.
It's funny. Josh Allen is 6-1 and Patrick Mahomes is 5-1.
See, Allen last week on that long touchdown run, he kind of faked like he was going to slide and they pull up. That's not the first time I've seen that. But then he goes.
The best one was the one in college that really got him. I forget who it was, but it was great, and people got so mad.
I mean, see, this is where I get kind of aggravated because as I say all the time, how many we're gonna have to check it, Scott. Yeah, not today, but you can check it whenever you're ready to, because you are the official statistician of the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. Sorry about that.
That's fine. The official statistician of my banks. Yeah, I'm just chalking him in the head ball.
It only gives you in FanDuel. It's only one touchdown. I mean, one interception. Well, it says will Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, I think he's gonna
throw an interception. That yes is -122, so it's not very good odds.
No, I got it as 5-1 on here for 2 interceptions for Patrick
5-1.
Mahomes.
That's not a plus 500. That's not too bad.
Yeah, I'll take it for 100. Well, what did I say? $50?
50
bucks.
Yeah, $50. But I forgot what the hell I was saying before. I mean, I've had a problem with this today.
That's what is that 250? 250 bucks?
250, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take that. The fun thing is I want to see if they would let me bet. If I could sit in front of the guy in front of the window and say, look, what I want to happen, I want to put $75 down on one of them is he's running outside the pocket. Looks like he's trying to get away, but he doesn't really get away. He's trying to throw some flippy flu shit. Some guy hits his elbow and it goes all cockeyed and it gets picked off by a linebacker. That's what I would like to bet on.
I'm going to go with a Rice. What would a do I go Diggs? No. Okay, no. I've got what's a Rice and Knox anytime TD?
Well, Knox, is he even playing?
I don't think so.
I think is he playing?
Okay, you said Rice and Knox.
Yeah.
All right, that will give you plus 969. How much you said? $50?
$50, yeah.
I give you total returns will be $534.
Is he trending to playing? Do we know?
What's that?
Knox. He scored last week, so I don't know if he's.
Yeah, I mean, he's on there. I mean, he's plus 450 to score a touchdown. So
what about? Let me just enough to score a touchdown. What's the odds on Noah Gray?
Noah Gray.
Tight end, yeah, he backs.
Plus 700.
How many times do they show Taylor Swift? And how many tweets immediately come out after by grown men crying, "Taylor Swift is ruining everything"?
Oh shit! Oh man, those losers need to get a fucking life.
Jesus Christ! I tell you what, you know something there, Scouts. I've had this hat for longer than Peaky Blinders existed. I've been wearing hats like this since I was like 18. Cool as cool, old? Brother. Cool as cool.
Peaky Blinders, not like Peaky Blinders is it's a fictional, but kind of like a real, time period.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but people think I wear this hat because I like Peaky Blinders. I've had this hat for before that show even came out. This particular hat. And I've worn this style of hat.
But that's the thing now. People are saying, why are you wearing them? It is Peaky Blinders. Because in the UK, it took off massively ever since that show came out. And then Americans started trying to wear hats like that as well.
I've had hats.
I had a Kangol
Bruce
hat.
Springsteen wore these hats when I was a teenager. That's the thing. Bruce Springsteen wore these hats when I was a teenager. I was like, wow, that's
Samuel L. Jackson used to wear them as well, man. And I was Kangol hat. Yeah, cool.
I've been wearing them ever since. Forever.
That is it. Any comments on the lovely Jay Gruden RG3 battle that's going on?
We have to talk about it.
Jay Gruden, for those of you that haven't been paying attention, Jay Gruden said that RG3's braids looked like a bunch of Jimmy Dean sausages, and RG3 came back and said that Jay Gruden was a fatty, fat. And ever since then, it's gotten no better. You know what? Here's the thing. RG3, shut the fuck up, dude. Yeah. We all know what's up with you. Shut up. All right. And the fact of the matter is you could sit there and you could say all your shit because you'll always refer back to the old standard. Well, you can't come out here and do it. And you're right. We can't. But you were not an NFL quarterback. Quarterbacks in the NFL filter to exactly where they belong. Talent at that position does not get missed by the NFL. And it took no time until you were third string.
Yep.
And that was that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't fault Jay at all for
Jay gave him a fair shake.
Yeah, for the shit with that happened when he was here, and I don't fault him at all for what he's doing because Jay was minding his own damn business.
He was talking about
it
the
was
Eagles game.
RG3 and Brian Mitchell that started running their fucking mouths. Both of them could go to hell.
For all of you people that are out there that have known me for a long effing time out here on the internet, look, man, I know a lot of you yelled at me because when Brian Mitchell came back to be on the radio down here, I was pissed off about it. Fuck him, man. That motherfucker left here to go be a goddamn New York Giant. And on his way out the fucking door, he took shots at us fans, called us a bunch of fucking fair weather fans, front runners, all kinds of shit like that. Then every time when he was a Giant and an Eagle that he came back here to play, I just can't wait to return one on them. I can't wait to look at their faces, the fans. And then you come back here and everybody forgot. I don't forget. I don't fucking forget. So you can fuck off. And I do believe that Jay Gruden is right. Dude, have you ever even considered being a coach at the high school level or anything? You'd think somebody would offer him a job.
That was, to be fair, that was a great clapback. The punch.
Oh yeah, IR punt return.
I was pissing myself. No, not that one. IR punt
and then when he said, when he
say it in his voice, go ahead.
To go, why don't you go? Just go. I can't do it on.
Yeah, you can.
When he told him to go, race a pigeon.
Go race a pigeon, RG.
Go race a pigeon, will you?
Yeah, go race a pigeon, RG. That was funnier than shit. So yeah, man. And look, for anybody that wants to talk to me about it, I will tell you every minute of the day. RG3 was a great athlete who was allowed to be the best athlete on the field by his high school coach, who got rich and fat by letting him win games. And then his college coach didn't do anything different. When it came down to it, and it came right off to it, RG3 was the best athlete on the field by far. And he'd say, go out there and do your thing, RG3, and he'd win. Came in the NFL, and that shit worked for 1 year. Yeah. The NFL's not going to fucking put up with it. Yeah, for all of you out there that don't want to hear anything, it's the last thing I'll leave you with. And let me put the music on so everybody knows I'm not going to keep just going. The NFL, when it comes to football, is one law. And here it is. NFL, in football, the offense innovates, defense adapts. Defense will always adapt. That's why there's so many offensive innovations and so few defensive innovations. Yeah. Because offense is constantly trying to stay ahead. And the defense took 1 year to adapt to that fucking read option thing. All right. And that was that. So once RG3 got finished being hurt,
that's why Shanahan doesn't do it anymore. Because
that's why he drafted another quarterback in the 4th round. He knew. He knew. So RG3, I get it, man. You're a fucking media darling now, and I do like watching him on TV. I think he's a good, college.
If you didn't see that in the chat there, Scotty.
Yeah, make him a cup of tea. Make her a cup of tea. Cheers. All right, I'll leave you off with that. But I do like him on college football. I just wish that he wasn't such an egotist, like some of us are. All right, everybody. We will see you again on Monday after the games. We'll talk about it then, and we'll see you later.